Android is an ever-evolving operating system, consistently upgrading to the latest versions. This cutting-edge technology seamlessly integrates with modern car stereo systems. In today's video, we're showcasing a state-of-the-art car stereo featuring the Android 14 operating system, complete with 4G support and dual SIM functionality. If you're planning to upgrade your car stereo, don't miss this video before making your decision. And before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. Would you believe it? For the first time, I received a car stereo system in a colorful box from AliExpress. Interestingly, when you examine the box, there isn't much information about the product. So, we're going to unbox it to see what's inside. As you open the box, the first thing you'll notice is a packet filled with a variety of cables. Don't worry, I'll walk you through what each of them is and how they're used. There is a white color USB cable and also a black color USB cable. We are given an external mic as well. This is the 4G antenna. Android Universal Wire Harness. And also audio, video cables with external SIM tray. I will explain it later. This is the reverse camera cable, and also the Wi-Fi antenna. You can see the universal GPS antenna. You are provided the screws to mount the unit. Now, let's move on to the rest of the box. Inside, you'll find the user manual. As I always say, it's essential to read the instructions carefully before installing the unit. Next, we have these brackets, which are used for mounting the system. But honestly, I'm not sure why they've provided these for a 9-inch unit, it's a bit of a mystery. Underneath, there's another cover. When you remove it, you'll see the highlight of the package, this sleek 4G dual SIM car stereo system. It feels solid and has a good weight to it. Now, let's power it up and see what this unit can do. Before we proceed, it's important to identify the wires. Here's the AUX-in left connector, followed by the video-in connector. Next, we have the external microphone connector and the AUX-in right connector. Moving on, there's the audio out left connector, the subwoofer connector, and the audio out right connector. This connector here powers an external fan. And this one? That's the amp connector wire. Additionally, there's something special, a unique cable for the external SIM connector. You can insert a mini SIM card into this tray. Here's how you open the SIM tray. This is the universal power harness designed for Android car stereos. Some of the cables are clearly labeled for easy identification. Here's the reverse camera detecting wire, followed by the key 1 wire, the key 2 wire, the antenna wire, and a wire to connect to the parking light. The other wires are standard across most systems. The red wire connects to the ACC, while the large yellow wire connects to the battery to retain memory settings. And, as usual, the black wire is for grounding. You'll also find 8 additional wires in white, green, gray, and purple. These are for connecting to the 4 speakers of your car stereo system, 1 pair for each speaker. This connector is specifically for the reverse camera, ensuring seamless connectivity. These short cables, they function as the Wi-Fi antenna, helping your car stereo stay connected. Next, we have 2 USB cables. The white USB cable is designed for DVR connectivity and phone mirroring. This is the 4G antenna, which is essential for receiving 4G signals on your car stereo system. And finally, here's the GPS antenna, crucial for accurate navigation. And now, we come to the star of the show, the car stereo system itself. This unit comes with a screen protector pre-installed, which I'm going to leave on for now. On the back of the device, you'll notice it's equipped with a cooling fan. If your unit doesn't have one, don't worry, you can check out my video on installing a DIY fan. This cable powers the fan, but there are also several other connectors. Here's the power connector, followed by the audio-video cable connector, the USB cable connector, and the reverse camera and Wi-Fi antenna connector. This is the FM antenna connector, and here you can see the GPS cable connector as well as the 4G antenna connector. I'll walk you through how to connect all of these cables later on. This is the special thing. You can insert a 4G SIM card to this slot. Those are the important things to note. Now, as usually, I will show you the inside of this device. I noticed that the casing is secured with 4 screws, so I'll need to unscrew all of them. If you're doing this yourself, be extra careful when opening the case, as you could accidentally damage the internal cables. Once the casing is open, you'll see the mainboard, along with the touch cable, display cable, and the front panel cable. Next, I'll remove the screws holding the circuit board in place. Here's the circuit board, and you can also see the cooling fan attached to it. Always handle these components with great care to avoid damaging the wires or any delicate parts. Now, let me show you how to connect the wires step by step. Start by attaching the power harness to this connector. Make sure it's secured properly. Next, connect the audio-video cable here and the reverse camera cable to this spot. The GPS cable and 4G antenna cable can be a bit tricky to connect, as the space is quite tight. Take your time and carefully secure them in place. You can use the power cable from the audio-video harness to supply power to the cooling fan. Finally, you're provided with an external microphone. Simply connect it to this port here. I think you're already familiar with how to power the unit. You need to supply power to both the ACC wire and the battery wire. The red wire is the ACC wire, and the big yellow wire is the battery wire. I'll connect both of these together. The black wire is for grounding. To monitor the power usage, I'm going to power the device through a multimeter. I've set the selector switch to ampere mode and switched the positive probe to the 10 ampere connector. Now, we can power on the unit. I'll also show you a real-time video to check the boot up duration. Stay tuned. The first boot took approximately 23 seconds, and the power consumption was less than 1 ampere. Interestingly, the system booted directly into the music player. Let's navigate back to check out the home screen. The home screen design is quite unique, not the typical layout you'd see on other car stereos. We'll explore the themes in detail later. For now, let's take a look at the apps. You'll find a wide variety of applications here. If you noticed, there's even an app specifically for tire pressure sensors. Now, let's head over to the Settings menu to explore further. Under the Settings menu, you'll find several categories: Wi-Fi, Device, General, Factory, User, and System Settings. In the Wi-Fi settings, you'll see options for Wi-Fi connections, data usage, SIM information, and more. Within the SIM info section, you can view details for the dual SIM setup. Next, in device settings, you'll find options for display, sound, GPS settings, storage data, apps, USB video output, and USB device start settings. As I navigate through, you can see all the settings available under each section. I don't think it's necessary to explain each option in detail, but feel free to pause the video if you want to take a closer look. Under the general settings, there are a lot of customizable options. two important ones are the reverse mirror settings and the mute audio while reversing setting, which can enhance your driving experience. And remember the cooling fan I mentioned earlier? You can adjust its settings here. I'm keeping it on auto mode, as it's the most efficient. However, you also have the option to set it to always on or disabled if needed. To access the factory settings, you'll need the correct password, which is 3368. Once entered, you'll gain access to a wide range of advanced settings. Here, you can configure the CAN bus settings. There are plenty of vehicle-specific options, so make sure to select the correct vehicle for your setup. If you want, you can even change the boot logo. Since my vehicle is a GELY, I'll select the GELY logo. You can also adjust the screen settings here. However, if you're unsure about these options, it's best not to make any changes. From this menu, you can also assign the panel buttons, though I don't think it's necessary to modify them at the moment. There are additional settings for features like front view settings, cancel reverse to front settings, which means the front camera will automatically activate when shifting from reverse to drive, local radar switch, MCU upgrade, video output settings, OBD settings, and more. Explore these options carefully to get the most out of your system. By accessing the About Device section, you can view important details like the Android version, build number, kernel version, and other key information. These details are particularly useful for developers. For now, I'm going to focus on checking the Android version. As you might already know, you can reveal the version with a few quick taps on the Android version field. And, just as I mentioned earlier, this system runs on the latest Android 14. To customize the LED colors, navigate to the lantern settings under the device settings menu. You'll find an option called Auto Loop. Turning it off will stop the colors from changing automatically. Alternatively, you can select a single color like blue, red, white, green, and more. As you change the color, you'll notice the LED lights immediately adjust. Personally, I prefer to keep the white color because it's subtle and less distracting compared to brighter colors. In the shortcut menu, you can quickly adjust the brightness and access other essential shortcuts, just like on any Android device. Additionally, this system comes with the Torque Pro app, which allows you to scan the car's performance data using an OBD unit, included for free with this setup. This is the FM radio application, which is quite similar to other Android FM radio interfaces. You can search for stations, save your favorites, switch between stereo and mono modes, and even adjust the frequency settings based on your geographical area. This car stereo supports phone mirroring for both Android and Apple devices. For Android devices, you can connect via USB or Wi-Fi mode, offering flexibility based on your preference. However, for Apple devices, connection is only possible through Wi-Fi. To enable this, you'll need to connect the car stereo to your mobile hotspot. In addition to mirroring, this stereo also supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Connecting CarPlay is straightforward, and you can set it up like this. This is a key feature of the system. You can use a 4G SIM card in this second SIM tray. Make sure to carefully insert the SIM card in the correct direction to avoid any damage. Once the SIM is inserted, you'll need to restart the car stereo system. After the unit boots up, you'll see the 4G connection activated, ready to use. If you'd like to install a SIM card inside the car stereo system, or even use 2 SIM cards, you can use this slot to insert the first SIM card. Now, let's move to something exciting, changing themes. There's a dedicated application for this. Using the app, you can browse through the available themes. Once you've selected a theme, you'll need to download it before applying it to the car stereo system. The collection includes a wide variety of themes to suit your style. The reverse camera uses a dedicated video connector. You'll need to connect this to the camera and also supply power from the reverse light. Make sure the power connects to both the reverse camera and the back wire on the stereo system. When everything is connected properly, you'll be able to view the reverse camera feed seamlessly. Additionally, there's an option to connect a front camera. You can feed the front camera's signal through the video in cable. There's even a dedicated front camera application that lets you view the video feed from the front camera directly on the screen. To test the video quality and internet speed, I played a YouTube video on the car stereo system. The video quality was impressive, and there was no lagging during playback. Even though the video was quite long, it played smoothly. I believe I've covered most of the important features of this car stereo system in today's video. Additionally, this system supports the installation of a USB car DVR unit, which is a great add-on. I'll create a separate video about that device soon, so stay tuned. And with that, we've reached the end of today's video. In conclusion, this Android 14 car stereo system is packed with modern features like dual SIM support, 4G connectivity, theme customization, and compatibility with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Its versatility and performance make it an excellent choice for upgrading your car's multimedia system. If you're planning to get one, I hope this video helped you understand its features and setup process better. Don't forget to like, share, and comment if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful. And as always, be innovative, stay with SetnFix. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.